Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation. ABC just pulled Jimmy Kimmel's show off the air indefinitely, they say. Why? Because of what he said about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Here is some of it.
He had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
The issue is not how you feel about Kimmel's opinion. The issue is the law and standards. Standards of tolerance, standards of what you want a platform to represent, and what that ownership, often public, right, if it's a public company like Disney, wants for its shareholders as captured by its practices. The First Amendment is not, stop saying this is a First Amendment violation. The First Amendment is about government regulation of speech. That's why Bondi is problematic. I'll get to that in a second. Not the private sector. The private sector gets to make choices. Can ABC do this? Yes, they arguably have the right. But is it right for them to do it? Now we are in the court of public opinion, and we will discuss this tonight because it matters. Speech, the state of it, what's okay, what's not okay, is there any line? This is all now in the air and very much in play as part of our politics, and I see a game. If you needed any more proof that the two parties are killing us, look at this through the lens of the flip-flopping by Democrats and Republicans based solely on the advantage of their position in or out of power. Exhibit A. You will remember, during the Biden administration, MAGA, Trump, all about how government worked alone and with social media to chill speech. Remember, right? Pam Bondi was a hammer for Trump on the FBI. Now she is the boss of the FBI, right? The DOJ is on top of the FBI. And she is doing exactly what she opposed.
The FBI weaponized and deployed their own agents to censor, to violate our First Amendment rights in this country continuously with Twitter, and I also believe with Facebook and Google.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society. We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech.
Now, interestingly, legally, okay, the standard has changed. Originally, hate speech fighting words were not offered protection under the First Amendment. The case is Chaplinsky from 1940-something. But since then, there's been a very specific evolution in our jurisprudence, and speech has gotten more and more protection, okay? Hate speech, fighting words, you will get away with it unless there is a specific and imminent threat, okay, of what you're saying. And that's the way the law has gone. Our culture seems to be going the other way now. And that's okay as long as you're not a hypocrite about it, okay? What changed? Out of power, you attack the government. In power, you try to control who can attack the government. And that's all it is a shift of advantage. Now, to be fair, some on the right did call out Bondi, and she took a half a step back. We'll see what happens. But most are quiet. That's a problem, too. We know the rules for government, okay? The First Amendment is about government regulation. Okay? We also know the rules for accountable media. What does that mean? Well, corporations like NewsNation, like Nexstar, like CNN, like Discovery, like ABC, like Disney, they are subject to legal standards and potential litigation if they do not adhere to those standards. You know who is not in that mix? Digital media, social media. Why? Because in the beginning, there was, in my opinion, a fundamental misunderstanding about what Twitter, Meta, all of these different platforms were. We just thought they were stadiums Build it and they will come. We can't make them publishers. They don't control. They just build the stadium and everybody comes. That's not the way it is anymore. But the federal law has that understanding. The federal law that exempts Elon Musk from any legal accountability from government for what anyone says on his platform, okay, is different than what ABC and NewsNation has to follow because of the Internet Decency Act, right? What a name. It was passed almost 30 years ago. We now know you get paid to be indecent on the internet. And these guys, look at Elon. He let people back on who he knew were flamethrowers. There is no accountability, and it is time to rethink it. And the right couldn't hold enough hearings about this when they wanted to prove that social media helped Biden, right? And yet the far right dominates social media. So the idea that, you know, they're boxed out or there's chilling, I never saw it. Instead, we have a dumpster fire. You could not come on NewsNation and say the ugly things about the Kirk assassination that are all over social media. The New York Times couldn't publish a lot of it with impunity. But these companies don't warrant any accountability, so they don't really give a damn what's on there as long as they can profit from it. But the idea that they're not publishers because they have no way to control what's said, we know that's not true. How do we know? Two different ways. Where do they put their ads? They put their ads next to what? What tends to be most provocative. And how else do we know that they know? What trends? What do you think it is? Just crowdsourced? Just raw numbers? No, it's algorithmic tendencies. They know exactly what they're pushing. They know exactly how to push it. So that's how we know. And I think that that is what needs to be discussed. I am not suggesting a specific change. That is for our leaders, but it is time to rethink the rules or lack thereof. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.